I saw a tall, thin woman with very long red hair. And as I keyed in closer, and this is in my mind's eye as an animal communicator, I'm seeing this visual. I could see scissors in her hand.
All you doggies, won't you walk with me? I'm the puppet dog.
In my previous episode of the Animal Intuitive channel, I introduced you to Charlie, the sweet Beagle mix, whose mom was very concerned about him because he had been acting strange. If you didn't watch that video, make sure to go back and watch it later. But in summary, he was mopey, staring at her a lot. He didn't want to be alone and had changed his sleeping habits. And a few things came out of the conversation, including some stressors that he was experiencing. And I do want to just mention, if your animal is acting oddly all of a sudden, to make sure you consult with a veterinarian, which I am not. And by the way, I'm Angelo Webb, professional animal communicator for over 20 years. I own Animal Intuitive Academy, where I have taught many people how to communicate with animals. I'm massage and acupressure board certified. I talked about the first two reasons animals potentially could be acting strange that I have found as an animal communicator. But in this episode, I want to talk about a third reason. The first thing that came up when I connected in with him at the start of our consultation was I saw a tall, thin woman with very long red hair. And as I keyed in closer, and this is in my mind's eye as an animal communicator, I'm seeing this visual. I could see scissors in her hand, and I got a very creepy feeling. When I relayed this information to Charlie's mom, she immediately said, "Oh, yes," and proceeded to tell me a story. Several years ago, her father, who's sort of an old school guy, not really somebody who talks about things like this, was at her house, standing next to her in the kitchen, and he pointed to the living room and had said, who is that woman sitting in that chair? And Charlie's mom said, "There's no woman sitting in that chair." And he said, "No, there's a woman sitting in that chair. I can clearly see her." And he proceeded to insist there was a woman there. And, well, guess what color hair she had? Red as could be. So in addition to that, Charlie's mom had also talked to somebody, a spiritual advisor of some sort, who also picked up on this person a year or two ago, a little while back. And she was getting a very negative energy. And this can happen with animals. And I find that this is sometimes the reason for animals who are acting just bizarre, acting different, staring off in the distance, hiding. He was also acting different at night. He wanted to sleep in bed with mom, and then he would get on the floor when the dad came in. What I picked up from him is that he was really feeling scared. And so he wanted to be close to mom, and he was waiting for dad to come in and protect them. When the dad would come in for bed, he would get on the floor next to the bed. He felt safer down there, and there was something in the distance that he just felt was it was kind of a feeling of something lurking. And so this is really affecting him. I also want to mention, I would really appreciate your support for this channel. I have many episodes on here to teach you about animal communication, acupressure, massage, other energetic work for your pets. I do try to give you really high quality educational information. Like, subscribe. Most people who watch are not subscribed, by the way. And please comment. I'd love to interact with you and let other people know about this show. I also have a link in the description for a coupon code BOOOCTOBER, B-O-O October, where you can take advantage of my Animal Intuitive Academy, where you can start doing some more in-depth training with animal communication and also hypnosis and acupressure. Back to Charlie. The solution. What do we do in these situations? These things that sometimes come into our lives, which we don't want, can wreak havoc. When something like that feels so negative to me, I would probably get somebody from the clergy to come bless the house. I would use holy water, but people are going to do what they're going to do. I know I am a Christian, and that's the way I would go. It's not something to play with, and animals are letting us know these things sometimes, and we have to take into consideration if there's nothing wrong with your pet health-wise and behaviorally. We could account for some things that were going on with Charlie, but this was really different, and then I picked up on this thing. So be aware that that can be something that can be bothering your animal. I also do want to mention Meesha's Heart Adventure, Emotional Regulation While Learning How Animals Think and Feel. The book that I wrote for children and adults to learn about animal communication and stay in touch or bring out that inborn ability to communicate with animals. 50% of proceeds do go to the Warrior Dog Foundation. They prevent animals from being euthanized by taking in canines who have served in law enforcement and the military, who otherwise might not have the best outcome. The link is in the description as well. And thank you so much for watching, and God bless.
Rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, rub my belly, my belly, my belly. I like my ears.